Hey everybody, I'm JJ. You're watching Reality Survival. Sorry if my voice is a little scratchy and I'm coughing. Still dealing with COVID for the second time. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about 6 most important items in a bug out bag. Now this is just going to highlight the 6 most important items. It's going to talk a little bit about, people's different situations and stuff, and how it might differ depending on who you are, where you live, how early you need to bug out, how late you need to bug out, all those different kinds of things. If you want a full and more comprehensive breakdown on what I think you should carry in a bug out bag, go to AmericanPreppingAcademy.com. Find the bug out bag lesson. It's over an hour long, I think. Okay. Also, if you want to get notified of every video that I put out, excuse me, go to realitysurvival.substack.com, and I will, if you enter your email address, it's free. There are paid options if you want to support the channel, but not required. I understand times are tough. But if I could just get your email address, and I will never sell it, it's just for me to be able to email you, then I'll let you know about all the videos as they come out. YouTube has been, unsubscribing people and not notifying people and all that kind of stuff. So Substack is just a way for me to be able to communicate directly. And you can comment on those posts and all that kind of stuff too, and we can go back and forth and all that. It's great. And there's going to be a giveaway of this survival knife over there on Substack in the coming days. So this is a cool little 1095 carbon steel survival knife that we're going to be giving away here pretty quick. Okay. 6 most important items in a bug out bag. So this video will assume that you carry an EDC pistol, an extra magazine, a folding knife, a Bic lighter, and a magnifying glass like a Fresnel lens or Fresnel lens, however you want to say it, and a flashlight as a part of your just everyday carry. All right. Now, and the other thing is if you're a person who lives in the city, in a very urbanized area, you're probably going to want to keep your stuff looking more civilian-like, and you're going to want to leave earlier so that you can kind of avoid the chaos or whatever that ensues in those heavily populated areas. If you live in a more rural area, you are probably going to stay in your home until absolutely forced out of your home, in which case your stuff probably is going to be more camo or military kind of related, subdued colors and all that kind of stuff, because the chances are is that you might be forced from your house for a little while, but you're probably just not going to give that up easily. And you might leave and then come back when the tactical advantage has turned in your favor, and then try to take your home back, right? So it just depends on your situation and what your plans are and how you're, all that kind of stuff. This is obviously hypothetical in nature, and I don't think that anybody should leave your home lightly. You should really seriously consider whether or not you need to do that. And if it has gotten bad enough for that to happen, then you definitely need to be able to defend yourself when you're out there, okay? So, and I know some of the people are typing in the comments right now, I'm never leaving my house, I will die right here. And that's fine, you might, because there's definitely a ton of different scenarios to which you could be forced out of your house. It's not inconceivable that you could have to leave. So it is important to have a bug out bag or a bug out system of some sort. Maybe it's not a bag for you, maybe it's a series of containers and you put it in your truck or whatever. You're going to do like a bug out loadout. Maybe you put your stuff in a trailer. I don't know what the system will be for you. Whatever works best, but think about the idea that it's possible that you could be forced to leave your home. So, the first most important item, in my opinion, and all these obviously just my opinion because this is my channel, is a tint. Now, I would recommend some sort of a subdued color Something that you're going to be able to create a microclimate in is really, really important, because exposure and hypothermia are the number one killers in the outdoors. Now, in a bug out situation, that might be slightly different because you could have people trying to kill you. However, it could still be really important to be able to create a microclimate, especially if there's a bad storm or a blizzard or something like that comes through, or who knows what the situation could be. But having that ability to get out of the weather, to protect yourself with a small little within a microclimate, is really, really important. And that goes right along with the second one, which is a sleeping bag with a bivvy. I think you should also have a bivvy in there. And you don't want to skimp on your sleeping bag. I understand a lot of people think that those emergency blankets and different things like that are good to go. They can keep you alive in dire survival situations. They can help retain your body heat, but they are not particularly good at it. And you also get a lot of moisture in with them and all that kind of stuff. So they should really be used as a part of a system, and you should have multiple layers within that system. I think that it makes the most sense to just get a high quality down sleeping bag, and then you have a bivvy cover over the top of that. That is my personal opinion. They're very, very light. They don't take up very much space when you use a compression sack, and they can do wonders in keeping your core body temperature at 98.6 degrees. Okay. The next thing on the list here is an extra set of clothes. Now, with the clothes, you probably are going to get wet at some point, because that's just Murphy. Whenever you spend time in the outdoors, especially when you don't want to be there, it's just going to rain. You just know it is. So rain gear and or spare clothes is a great idea to be able to change it. You could also look at having clothing that could be different for a different kind of environment. If you know that you have to pass through a particular environment, then maybe it makes sense to wear clothing that will facilitate that transportation through that area. Now, maybe that's an urban area and you want it to be clothing of whatever particular kind. Maybe if you lived in the outskirts of Portland and you had to go through Antifa-controlled area, you'd want to dress in all black, black bloc kind of clothes. Whatever. I don't really know. But think about where your point A is and where your point B is, and where you have to do an analysis of where you have to travel through. That could help you to pick what you want to wear for your clothing. All right, the next thing is water purification method. Boiling is always an option, but that does take a lot of calories, takes a lot of fuel, and it could potentially draw attention. I think it's best to have a good filter or purifier. The Grail purifiers are pretty good. I'm an affiliate with those guys. Also, the Katadyn Pocket is also a really good water filter as well. And that's going to save a lot of time and energy, and enable you to be able to purify some water and then go. I would stay away from, personally, I would stay away from the hollow microfiber style filters like the Sawyers and stuff like that. If you're going to buy a Sawyer water filter, just make sure you understand that they're only designed for one season. They're not designed to be put away in your car or whatever for multiple years, and then you pull that thing out and then start using it. It's gone through multiple freeze and thaw cycles. It's especially if you've used it in the field and then it's gone through freeze and thaw cycles, that thing is useless. And this is even confirmed by the manufacturer. That's why they're only $20. They're made to be a one-season item. Get a very high-quality water filter if you want something that's going to last. Excuse me. Next thing is first aid kit. You will get injured. If you are in a super high stress situation, having to move through, rugged terrain and all that kind of stuff with, threat of physical violence, your mental and visual acuity is not going to be where it should be. You're going to get sticks slapping you in the face, and you're going to get cut and thorns. You're going to fall down. You're going to trip. All that kind of stuff's going to happen. You're going to get hurt. I apologize for my voice. Is what it is. You're going to get hurt. So you need to have a good boo-boo kit, and you need to have a first aid kit. You need to have a trauma kit. First aid is going to be really important. So make sure you've got a boo-boo kit and a trauma kit. All right. Next thing is self-defense gear. So that was, let's see, we had tent was number 1, sleeping bag number 2, extra clothes number 3, water purification number 4, first aid kit number 5, and self-defense gear is number 6. If it's so dangerous that you're being forced to move from your home, you need to make sure that you have a firearm and ammo, and at a minimum, a concealable bulletproof vest for each one of your family members. Okay, just like a level 2 or something like that would probably be fine. That's going to protect you from pretty much all pistol threats and 22 long rifle, even 12 gauge. It's not going to protect you from rifle threats though. But it's at least some level of protection. Okay, if you are more concerned and you think that rifle could be a potential, more of an issue, then you want to also have some plates with that and a plate carrier. I understand that's crazy. I understand it's crazy to think about the idea that you need to have plate carriers for your family members and your wife or your kids and all that kind of stuff. But we're talking about the idea that you've been forced from your house. So that in and of itself is crazy. The situation is crazy. So you really need to think about defense and think it through. Most plates are prohibitively heavy. If you're going to buy plates that are lightweight, you're going to have to pay for them, and they're a pretty penny. But the plates that only weigh 1 pound or 2 pounds, in my opinion, are worth the money, because you can actually afford that weight allowance to be able to wear a plate carrier and carry a backpack full of all this other gear, right? Most people cannot do that. Most people cannot put on a 16-pound pair of plates and a plate carrier and still carry a whole bug-out bag and still move through rugged wilderness, all right? When you're thinking this stuff up, you want to try to keep the weight that you're carrying to somewhere about 25% of your body weight. Okay? That is for 25% of your body weight is for a person who hasn't practiced with it, who doesn't spend a lot of time rucking in the woods or backpacking and all that kind of stuff. If you've built your tolerance up, then maybe you can, go a little bit higher than that. But for most people, you really need to limit it to about 25% of your body weight. Okay? And that goes for your kids and your wife and all that kind of stuff too. So think about how you're going to have to prioritize that weight. Okay. Bonus items that you could put in there are, a food or cook set. But honestly, really, you should be thinking about just hand foods like granola bars and good old raisins and peanuts, trail mix, all that kind of stuff. Beef jerky, those kinds of things that, power bars and different things like that you can just eat on the go, or an MRE or something. You probably don't need a whole cook kit. Map and compass, if you don't know where you're going, where and how to get there, if you don't know that terrain like the back of your hand, then you're probably going to need a map and compass as well. And you might need an additional fire starting kit, maybe a saw or an axe or something like that, if you're in a place, in a situation where it could make sense that you could have to have a fire. Up in the northern latitudes, you very well could need to have a fire to be able to stay alive. Learn how to make a Dakota hole fire. I've got videos on that. So that's just real quick some things to think about when it comes to bug out bags. You know, what are the critical items? What are the really important items? And what you need and all that kind of stuff. Again, if you want a whole lesson on this, go to AmericanPreppingAcademy.com and look for the bug out bag lesson, and that'll give it to you. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and don't forget to live 6 Ps, and don't forget to go sign up at Substack, realitysurvival.substack.com. All right, proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. Stay safe, guys.